This is a stud gun, stud welder. Can't get to the back of these with the dolly to pound them out. I can weld these in place. And then use this slide hammer and slowly work my way towards the center of it and pull the dent out from the outside. So it's been like 9 months since I've done anything to the truck. It's been hot and I've been busy running my main channel. The first part of the video you probably saw me take off all the paint and straighten out the box here, and I got that done, and I didn't really have the time or the resources to do everything in primer, so I just hit it with some Rust-Oleum. Yeah, it kind of worked, but I'm gonna have to take this down to bare metal anyway, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. You see the bumper here. The next step is, I got all of this straight up until this back section here. I can't really do the back of the box here until I take the bumper off, so that's what I'm going to be trying to do today. There's a few nuts under here that I've been trying to hit with PB Blaster like once a month because they are definitely seized on there. I'm hoping I won't have to use the oxy torch, but we will find out. Well, that didn't work. I just snapped the bolt. Be welding in a patch panel section over here on the driver's side. I ordered up, there's a lot of curves on this tail light panel here, so I just ordered another one up. They're like $80, so I'm gonna probably attach the new one, then follow that curve to rebuild this side. While I'm waiting for those parts, I'm gonna start taking out what I can on the driver's or on the passenger side here. Got some patch panels to do. This is the passenger side. These are the two bolts or where the bumper was hanging. All right. So I'm going to try and use a magnet here to hold it in place. There's a little bit of a contour that I don't have on this plate yet, so I'm probably just going to try and put a few tacks here and then try and pound it into shape before I weld everything in place. See, I got to pound that in a little bit. Really only trying to weld spots where it's flush with the outside panel. When Jack Johnson went to get on board, the captain said we don't hollow coal. Fairly Titanic, fairly well. You can try and grind and get all of this stuff perfect, but you'll usually end up creating more problems than you fix. It's really easy to go too far and thin this stuff out, and then it can't get it seated properly. Just anything like that, a little tiny skim coat of body filler should take out. So pretty much, if I can get it to the point where I can't see light anywhere, then I'm happy. Actually feels a lot better than it looks. So I have to do the same thing on the other side, but I think I'm going to try something different. Instead of doing a patch panel, so these holes are small, I'm I think what I'm gonna do is actually just hold up a plate behind it, each of the holes, and see if I can just fill it in with welds, which is probably way easier. We'll see. So this is the driver's side here. What I did is I just cut out this little chunk of 20 gauge steel here. Yes, it was midnight on the street, a band played near my love to be. Very Titanic, very well. I'm assuming that the original one was attached with pinch or plug welds all the way around the seam, which, as you can see, would have been impossible for me to get to. So rather than trying to find a nice clean way to take the old one off, I just decided to cut it off. And I didn't go right down the center of the seam because I didn't want to cut into the actual box itself. I'll probably still have to drill out those plug welds, but I'll actually be able to get to them once I remove this piece. Hopefully once I get this off, I can take this whole tail light panel off, drill out those pinch welds, pull off this little lip of the existing panel. I still have no idea how exactly I'm going to attach this because there's no way I'm going to be able to get in there for plug welds. Hopefully it'll come to me when I get there. See, on this one, I think there's a flat plate that's pinch welded along this inside edge too, and I can't see where any of the pinch welds are, so I am just going to mark a line. All right. So next step is just going to be taking off all the pieces of the original taillight panel that are plug welded here. I'm kind of just prying until it stops. That gives you a pretty good idea where the weld is. So here's the next issue. These replacement panels aren't always perfect, and this one is no exception. You can see the whole thing actually needs to come this way more. It actually needs to set about there, but lower. You can see all of this this other panel here. I'm gonna try and see if I can pound it in enough to where I can get this thing to set in the proper place. If not, I might have to grind some of this lip off. Now you can see the line I drew down this panel here, so I'm going to grind that out now. I'm sure that the correct way is to take the whole box apart, undo all the pinch welds all the way up, take the panel out, plug weld all this back together, and then put it back together, which would probably take me 3 days, 4 days, a long time. I was reading, and apparently there's some adhesive that you can use as well, like that you can glue the panels together. But on these old trucks, I guess the seams really don't line up that well in the first place. So rather than try and do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here, clamp it up, and then just run some really small tack welds right in the seam here. I'm going to try and get them as deep down as possible. That way, I mean, maybe if I care enough, depending on how it looks, I can come back with some seam sealer, sand it out, and then paint it, or just leave it. Depends on how it looks. And if I need to redo it, the good thing is I'll only have a few tack welds in there to take off. Alright, well it actually lined up pretty well when I went to weld it. I still have no idea how I'm actually going to make this look good before I paint it, but hopefully I'll figure something out. They say that this is all 18 gauge. I measured it and it seems closer to 20 gauge to me. It's pretty close, so I'm going to use, I have some 18 gauge, but the 20 gauge is a lot easier to work with and bend and contour, so that's what I'm going to use. And it's miking out at about the same thickness, so I don't care what they say, I am using 20 gauge. Obviously on the fender I have two straight lines. Those are going to be the easiest to fit. What's going to be hard is the contour. So I have two easy sides and I have two hard sides. I'm going to have to kind of, I mean, since it's missing so much this, I'm going to kind of have to guess here. This curve, so it's going to have to be bigger. So I'm actually going to try and get this bend and this outside edge in first. And if it's too big, it'll be easy. I can just trim off of the straight sides rather than trying to keep these matched up and try and trim the bends. Started this with the tin snips and about 1.5 cuts into it. I remembered I have a plasma cutter and it's a lot easier. So you can do this with snips, but there's no reason to have one of these. I'm going to try and get this curve first into that. I don't worry about this lip. I'll probably have to do some cuts when I go around this bend here so that it won't crease and crinkle. That is actually really good. I have a little bit extra, so I'll just use a angle grinder to trim that down, just barely. Maybe 1/8 of it. Well, that's pretty close. Obviously need to cut the top off. Now I just need to put the curve back in this side here. So I'm going to do some little relief notches, because when obviously it'll be difficult to bend this, to put curve in it this way with this support going this way. Actually worked really well. You can see how they closed up a bit on the outside there. It's actually really close right now. It's a little bit more trimming across the top here. And as long as it's really close, because I mean, as I tack, once I get the top tacked in, as I work down, I can actually kind of pull it into alignment as I tack weld it. So I'm just going to grind this until I get a nice fit, and then I'll start tacking it in. I'm going to throw a little magnet right there. Hopefully it'll help keep that aligned. It's not perfect, but it should be good enough. I let that primer cure for a few days, the epoxy primer, and now I'm just getting around to putting the other coat on it. First off, I wiped everything down with denatured alcohol. I'm sure there's a more specific chemical that you're supposed to use, but I'm not going to do that. So I wiped it down with the denatured alcohol, scuffed it up with one of these maroon 3M pads here, and then I just wiped it down again, trying to get all the dust and stuff off with the denatured alcohol. So now I'm going to go ahead and start doing body filler over the areas here. If you guys watch my other videos, you'll be able to pick up all the details. So I'm probably just going to do a time lapse of me doing that here. So I was not able to get as far as I thought I was going to get today. I still have a good amount of filler to do on the bottom. Fortunately, none of it's thick. It's just a lot of little wobbles and stuff from pounding out the dents. Unfortunately, there's some spots that are bare metal, so I'm going to have to shoot it with another coat of epoxy primer so that doesn't rust, and then wait another couple of days, and then I'll finish, come back and finish up the body filler. I won't film me shooting the primer since I already did that once, and you probably get the idea. It's been a while since I've done some work on this. That's the nice thing about epoxy primers. I'm so busy. I've been working on this sculpture over here. If you guys can see that, for this law firm. So that's been kind of more pressing since I get paid for this, and I have to pay to do this kind of stuff. But so what I ended up doing is shooting epoxy primer over the bare metal, doing all my filler work as best as I could, and then shooting another coat of epoxy primer over that. And then what this is that you just saw me spray is high build primer, and that's what is going to kind of, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's primer, but it's high build primer. So what I'm going to do now is spray it with this guide coat, and then I'm going to use some sanding blocks to kind of try and smooth everything out. The idea is that obviously the high spots, which will be covered in this guide coat, will sand off first, and I'll be able to see where the high and low spots are. I'm not going for perfection. I just want it to be kind of a B+ job for now, and then down the road when I have more time, I'm going to go through it all and make it perfect. But it's really hard to do that without a shop, and trying to do this when the weather permits in my driveway and still keep this thing drivable. I can really only afford to get it decent. So maybe sometime down the road I'll come back and get everything perfect. I went ahead and block sanded everything. Unfortunately, there's a few small areas where I came back down to bare metal, so just to be safe, I'm going to shoot a coat of epoxy primer over it, and then I am going to apply the paint. Got the 2 coats of primer on. Now I am going to move on to paint. I'm using the Eastwood Hot Rod Black. It's a satin, so hopefully I'll be able to see it over this stuff. So I went ahead and finished the passenger side of the box off camera, since it's pretty much the same exact stuff I did over there. I had another patch panel down here. It's funny, the epoxy primer lays down very well, but this single stage paint, it looks awful when you first spray it. It's very uneven, and it usually takes a couple of hours to kind of even out. It's not a picture perfect finish, but it looks pretty good, and I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to move on and replace this tailgate here. I got a new tailgate from LMC truck that I'm going to try and throw on there today, and that'll be it for this video. This is the new plain tailgate that I ordered from LMC. This coating is called E-Coat, and although you can shoot paint directly over it, I guess a lot of people are saying it's better to shoot it with primer first. It just gives it some better chip resistance, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old tailgate off, make sure this fits the way it is, and once I'm happy with that, then I will paint this. Gonna take these guys apart, throw them in my ultrasonic cleaner to clean them up before I put them back on. This just happened. Tried to take this one off and the bolt sheared, and I don't think I'm gonna mess around with trying to drill this out. It could go wrong. I think what I'm just gonna do is clean everything up. I'm gonna weld this on the back flange here. Shouldn't be a problem. At least I'll still have this bolt to index it in, so it'll be where it's supposed to be. But this is the real world. It's not like TV. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you're working on old vehicles. Covered the bearings with some masking tape. I've actually had pretty good luck with this Rust-Oleum enamel. It's kind of a two-man job. It's way easier to go in, hold the tailgate horizontally. New versus old. Didn't think about it, but they sell a little plastic sleeve that goes over this chain. Keeps it from scratching up your paint. I'm gonna put it on for now and improvise, tie a rag around it or something until I get the order up the sleeve for it. Since this is my shop truck and I use it to pick up material that's longer than the bed, I also ordered this little guard here that we're gonna stick on the back. Let's figure out where we want it first. About. Like the same stuff that sits on your stove for like 2 years and you don't know it's there. Alright, so I know a lot of you are probably wondering when I'm going to get back to my normal content, and this is the first new truck video I've made in a year. I just had to move all the old ones over to this main channel, so from here out they're going to kind of be intermixed with my normal projects. So thank you for watching. I want to thank Lincoln Electric, ISO Tunes, and LMC Truck for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to support me, you can do so through my Patreon. Also, I just got another batch of these gray ZH Fabrications shirts in. The first one sold out in a few days, but I have more. And also, if you want to kind of get a look at the behind the scenes, share your projects, ask questions, etc., I have a ZH Fabrications Maker group on Facebook, so if you send an invitation, I'll get you added to that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.